Hey, my name is Dean Reynolds. A lot of people ask the question, what is wilderness therapy? If we picture like a mental health clinic, we know that there's certain things that happen here, and there's a therapist here, and they do really good counseling, and this is the best place for rehab, or where I might send my kid if we're really struggling. But then we have this model of Outward Bound, which we climb these majestic peaks, and we look over valleys, and we have times where we sit at the bottom of a waterfall and we reflect on where our life is, or sometimes we sit at the top of the peak and we look over and we see where we've been. We see the meadow and where we're at. Wilderness therapy is the combination of both of these things. So it's both a mental health facility and something like Outward Bound. So we go into the backcountry and we sit around a fire at night. We talk about our experiences. We talk about our families of origin. We talk about the things that bring the best healing, the best restoration. Mental health facilities and rehab facilities do great work. And there's a time and a place for that. We've learned through what we do at Seeds Wilderness Therapy and the research that's been done across the field that when a person comes to the backcountry, it happens faster. We get deeper healing, deeper restoration. We get deeper counseling. There's a shared experience. We get several teenagers and they're having an experience together. They're having the counseling experience. So daily we'll do individual feedback and standing groups to discuss our feelings and our emotions. But we do a psychoeducational group every night where we're sitting around a fire and we're just teaching about anger, about peace or sobriety or addiction. When I do that with my peers, there's a commonality, there's an understanding, there's a vulnerability and trust that goes way deeper, way faster than anything that happens in a four-walled traditional setting. Why we go into the backcountry is that it helps us to focus on our Creator. As we're in beautiful places, as we sit at the feet of a waterfall, as we meditate in a meadow, as we pray at the top of a mountain, it reminds us that we're not alone and that God's with us. He wants us to have a better life. Jesus himself modeled this pattern often where he's going to the mountain to be with the Father, and then he's going to the valley to be with the people. And he's always renewing his spirit. If Jesus, the Lord of our lives, is going to the mountains to be with the Father, probably we should be too. It's important that we find quiet and still spaces to remember who we are, to remember whose we are, as we return to our families with peace and joy and hope. We go into the wilderness because it brings peace, and it's that peace of the wilderness that we want to offer you into your homes.